defending against North Korea's World War III missiles is infeasible, USA's Mattis told. Mr. Mattis caught a glimpse of the hermit state from a lookout post during a visit to South Korea today. He was met with the sound of North Korean propaganda music being blasted across the border, akin to tactics taken on in the South to try and turn citizens against leader Kim Jong-un. And as Mr. Mattis peered into the secretive state, closely watched by North Korean soldiers, he was reminded by his South Korean counterpart of just how many weapons North Korea could unleash across the border. Song Young-moo told him, defending against this many LRAs, long-range artillery, is infeasible in my opinion. He called for strategies to offensively neutralize the artillery in the event of a conflict. Mr. Mattis replied, "Understood." The brief exchange at the Inter-Korean Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, where U.S. President Donald Trump may visit in coming days, spoke volumes about the risks of any miscalculation as tension soars over Pyongyang's rapidly advancing nuclear weapon and missile programs. Any attempt to denuclearize the North by force could easily escalate into a devastating conflict. Mr. Mattis was keen to emphasize efforts to peacefully resolve the crisis, including at the DMZ, as he addressed reporters with his back to the dividing line between North and South. Speaking in the sight of North Korean soldiers, Mr. Mattis said, "Our goal is not war, but rather the complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of the Korean peninsula." Mr. Mattis said he and Song also made clear their mutual commitment to a diplomatic solution to address North Korea's reckless, outlaw behavior, when they meet this week at a gathering of Asian defense chiefs in the Philippines. He carried that same message after his helicopter flight back to Seoul, where he addressed a small group of U.S. and South Korean soldiers. He said, "It comes down to you to make it work, my fine young troops. And well, by time for our diplomats to solve this problem." As Mattis at one point met some of the roughly 28,000 American forces stationed in South Korea, he said the role of U.S. and South Korean troops was essential. He said, "We're doing everything we can to solve this diplomatically, everything we can. But ultimately our diplomats have to be backed up by strong soldiers, sailors, airmen and Marines, so they speak from a position of strength. So thanks for standing watch, for holding the line." Last week, CIA Chief Mike Pompeo said North Korea could be only months away from developing the ability to hit the United States with nuclear weapons, a scenario Trump has vowed to prevent. U.S. intelligence experts say Pyongyang believes it needs the weapons to ensure its survival and have been skeptical about diplomatic efforts, focusing on sanctions, to get Pyongyang to willingly denuclearize. The emphasis on diplomacy came before President Trump departs next week on a trip to Asia. He declined to say whether he will visit the DMZ when he stops in South Korea, telling reporters on Wednesday, "You'll be surprised." Mr. Trump, in a speech last month at the United Nations, threatened to destroy North Korea if necessary to defend the United States and its allies. Kim has blasted Trump as mentally deranged. The bellicose verbal exchanges have stoked fears of a military confrontation, but White House officials say Trump is looking for a peaceful resolution. At the same time, the US and South Korean militaries are looking for ways to deter Pyongyang and bolster its defenses.